Great basketball action for you as the Fort Richmond Centurions take on the number 2 ranked River East Kodiaks. With us right now are the 2 head coaches. First off to you, head coach Ogo Okumabua of the Fort Richmond Centurions. What do you have to do to be successful tonight?
Well, the game, I think if we play decent defense and, get the ball up and down the court and hopefully defend the ultimate Chris Dick, we might be in a good situation of hopefully winning.
Now, of course, that is the key to their offense, Chris Dick. How are you going to do that? Are you going to put man on him?
I'm not quite sure. You'll probably see in the game in a couple of minutes. I'm not going to let Irwin hear me right now, but yeah, I have a couple of plans. But I mean, we'll do our best to cover him. You can't cover him by himself, so it's going to take a team effort.
Now, you are ranked number 1 heading into this. Does that weigh heavily in the minds?
No, I forgot about number 1 when we almost lost to Vincent Massey last week. So I mean, that's all out of the way. We're now just 2 teams going at it, hopefully getting the ultimate prize.
Terrific. Well, we'll hold you for a second here.
All righty.
Good luck in the game.
Thank you very much.
Erwin Hildebrandt, you're the head coach for River East. What do you have to do to beat this team?
Well, defensively, we got to box them out. I mean, we were very lucky to come away with a win yesterday, despite our defensive woes. So just strong defensive performance and get the ball in the hands of Chris Dick.
Chris, of course, is your main guy. Is he healthy today?
Oh, yeah.
Not a problem with him?
Not a problem.
If they do cover you man-to-man, if they cover Chris man-to-man, do you have a backup plan?
We're just running the same offense that we have all year. It's what we're comfortable doing.
Again, the rankings don't make any difference in this?
Not at all.
Well, hopefully you guys have a good game. Congratulations on getting here.
All right, thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll have more great basketball action coming up from the University of Winnipeg Duckworth Center.
Something rugged and sturdy about us.
There's a casual friendliness about everybody in Winnipeg.
You go any place and you'll run into somebody that you know.
People of this community come together well and do what they can to help each other.
It's a beautiful city to live in. It's a beautiful place to raise your kids.
It feels international and it feels Canadian and it feels local.
Winnipeg has both a quiet beauty and a human beauty.
Natural hazards are hitting Canadians harder and more often than ever before. Yet it takes surprisingly little to survive their wrath. A candle and water could help save your life in the short term. And paper will see you through the long term. Learn how to protect your life and home. Visit these websites. A message from the Institute for Catastrophic Loss Reduction and the Canadian Red Cross.
Huh?
No, 6:30, I'm in hot water.
I'll get you next time, but right now I gotta let out some steam.
What?
Try something different. Scouts, call 1-888 Scouts now.
Racing through life without a plan is pointless.
Hands-on learning, high-demand skills.
Today's job market rewards skilled and motivated workers.
Accredited programs, leading-edge technology.
With relevant training, you can pick your job target.
Applied skills training, job ready in 10 months or less.
And hit the mark. Winnipeg Technical College. Learn to succeed.
Shaw TV brings you up to speed in this fast-paced world. We make the local connection to the stories that matter to Winnipeg people. From entertainment, arts, celebrities, and more. Plus, look to Bob Baker to bring you this.
I'll have local sports, current events, and the inside track on what's happening in our city. And as always, great prize giveaways. Keep it tuned to Shaw TV on Cable 11.
Your nightly community connection.
Welcome back to the University of Winnipeg Duckworth Center for the Provincial 4A High School Basketball Championships. The women's final just finished. It just wrapped up. Vincent Massey defeated Daniel Mack by a score of 56-54. We're getting ready for the boys' action as the number 1 Fort Richmond Centurions take on the number 2 River East Kodiaks. With more on tonight's boys' matchup, let's head up to Missy and Lori.
Thank you very much, Bob. We're almost ready for the boys matchup with the number 1 and 2 ranked teams. With me is Lori May doing the color commentary. Lori, some of your thoughts on the upcoming boys championship final?
Well, this one is going to be good. Basically, what happened the other night is Chris Dick kind of threw out the challenge. And basically, what he has said is stop me and stop the rest of my guys, Fort Richmond, if you want to win. It's going to be interesting for Richmond because Danny Otwell, he did a great job the other night. And it's going to be interesting to see if Fort Richmond can answer the challenge.
That's right. And you talked about Chris Dick, number 1 player in the province. He threw up 49 points. He scored like double what the remainder of the team did. So they're really in this final because of the efforts of that particular game and that player.
Well, he can play, he can shoot the ball, there's no doubt about it. But at the same time, it's going to be very interesting on the inside. You've got Jamie Moses for River East, and you're looking at Deli Legree for Fort Richmond. So that could be an interesting matchup as well.
That's right. These two teams match up extremely well. They played 3 times. Fort Richmond's won 2 of those by scores of maybe 2 and 3 points. And River East won the last one by, I believe, about 6 points. But you know, the matchups that they've had have been extremely close. So this one really going down to the wire here.
They've been extremely intense games, as you've mentioned, and as long as this game can match up to the one that we had a little bit earlier, Missy, it's going to be something great to watch.
That's right. Now we're going to listen to, I think it's Bill Wedlake talking, not Bill Anthony.
Oftentimes in life, there are sounds that you hear that you have known, and sounds that you learn to love. Tonight, I want to pay special recognition to a sound that we have heard over the last 30 years. The voice of the Westman, the voice of basketball, celebrating tonight 30 years behind the microphone of countless basketball games at the junior high, high school, and university and professional levels. I speak of the voice of the Westman, Bill Anthony. And what is also special tonight, this is his last game at the microphone for basketball here in the province of Manitoba. He is moving closer to his family in Alberta, and we hope that he can continue doing the same job for those people out there. So if I could call Bill forward, please. And if you could recognize Bill's contribution to basketball over the last 30 years and wish him well in the province of Alberta. Thank you very much, Bill.
I'm usually giving stuff away. This is great. Thank you very much, Bill. I appreciate it. It's been a great affiliation with basketball in Manitoba. But now, let's get down to work. Let's meet the 2 teams involved in this provincial final, the number 1 and 2 ranked teams in the province. The visitors on the scoreboard, the River East Kodiaks. Ranked number 2 coming into this tournament. They defeated Kelvin in the semifinal 74-69 and boast a record of 30 wins and 5 losses. Let's meet the Kodiaks. A 6'4" post, Manny Weeb. A 5'8" guard, Mickey Gadjek. A 5'10" forward, Cam Shepard. A 6-foot forward, C.J. Edwards. A 6'5" post, James Jansen. A 5'11" forward, Derek Martins. A 5'9" forward, John Zack. And a 6'1" post, Mark Dolenyuk. We will meet the starting lineup shortly. Introducing the home team on the scoreboard, the Fort Richmond Centurions. Red number 1 coming into this tournament. They defeated Silver Heights 51-45 in the semi and have a record of 29 wins against 4 losses. Let's meet the Centurions. A 6-foot guard, Tarek Tokar. A 5'10 forward, Luke Dunlop. A 6'1 post, Andy Garba. A 5'10 forward, Mungala Londi. A 5'9 forward, Charles Ho. A 6'3 forward, Mike Polishin. And a 6'3 forward, Grant Rayner. And now the starting lineups for River East. A 6'6 guard, number 33, Jordan Weeb. For the Fort Richmond Centurions, a 5'8 guard, number 4, Ali Amunze. For River East, a 5'7 guard, number 21, Ian Bowie. For the Fort Richmond Centurions, a 5'10 guard, number 33, Danny Atwell. For the River East Kodiaks, a 6'2 forward, number 8, Chris Dick. For Fort Richmond, a 6'2 forward, number 15, Enes Gina. For the River East Kodiaks, a 6'3 post, number 24, Jamie Moses. For the Fort Richmond Centurions, a 6'4 forward, number 13, Daly Legree. Starting from the River East Kodiaks, a 6'5 post, number 31, Ezra Mishkran. And for the Fort Richmond Centurions, a 5'9 forward, number 32, James Grady. The coaches for River East, Erwin Hebert, Don Iwasco, John Thompson. The coaches for the Fort Richmond Centurions, Tim Abakwe, Ogo Okwababua, and Regan Moses.
There we have the starting lineups for both teams. River East number 2, Fort Richmond number 1. We'll see who's number 1 after this game. This is the 4A Boys Provincial Championship game.
Well, Michie, one thing that we're going to see here is just, there's no way that the tempo is going to go down a notch from that
sure.
girls' championship game. These guys are going to get at each other very quickly.
That's right, and in the past they've had very close games. They match up extremely well. We'll see what Chris Dick can do tonight. He's had a number of games, 42 points the other night, 49 points. Talk about lighting it up.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how Fort Richmond is going to defend him. Not only that, as we mentioned before, we've got to watch the presence of Daly Legree inside for the Centurions.
That's right, size-wise, it looks like they do match up extremely well. In fact, the height advantage, slight height advantage, might actually go to River East. And we get Fort Richmond starting up with the ball right now. Ali Modze.
River East straight man-to-man.
Good movement by Fort Richmond. Amadze again with the ball. He goes out to Atwell. Girardi with the ball. Showing a lot of patience here. Oh, and a steal almost there by Jordan Weeb. Fort Richmond's got advantage number-wise here, and Atwell unable to hold on to the ball.
That was a good job of by Atwell keeping the ball in, but just a little bit of nerves here.
That's right, they had a 4-on-2 there. So we'll see Chris Dick with the ball. He passes it off to Jordan Weeb, to Bowie. He's gonna wait for his team to come across, get into position. Good defense, both teams playing man-to-man here. Where we get the ball in, a steal there by Daly Legree. With the big guys on Fort Richmond.
As we can see right off the hop, we've got River East, of course, maybe using Dick as a little bit of a decoy, going straight down into Moses, down low.
Moses, their big guy who plays down low. Dick usually playing on the outside. He's also capable, and that one looked like it was deflected a little bit after he took that shot. So Fort Richmond with the ball. They're looking to put things up here first. And it's Gina with the ball, and then we get Chris Dick coming down with the ball. He passes it ahead to Weeb, who can't control the ball. Fort Richmond will inbound.
It's quite the pace here at the start of the game, isn't it?
That's right. Just like the girls started off. Very fast pace. Modze with the ball. Gets it to Atwell. Atwell out to Gina. Oh, a strong rebound by Jamie Moses.
Good job by Moses as he brings down that defensive board. This is going to be an interesting matchup, I think, for the whole evening.
Looks like Chris Dick's going right into the basket. He's fouled on the play. That'll put Chris Dick to the line. #1 player in the province. It's one we were talking about in the opening. Shot 49 points in his semifinal to lead River East to their win.
That's a good job by Chris, as what has to have happen is we're going to have to come up on him if we're Fort Richmond. Don't give him that much room. And he uses that room to come up with a nice crossover, moves it over to the left side, and is fouled as he takes it to the hoop.
Chris misses that first one. River East defeated Kelvin to get into this final, 74-69. Fort Richmond defeated Silver Heights 51-45 to advance. River East with the first point on the board, 1-0. They lead very early in this first half. Provincial Boys Championship. Good movement again by Fort Richmond. There we go, James Girardi with the first bucket for Fort Richmond. They take the lead.
Good job by Girardi, taking it right down on the inside against Fort Richmond. I should say against River East. They're going to have to make sure that they plug up that middle a little better than that.
Nice pass by Jordan Weeb into Vish Cron.
Good recovery by Girardi there.
Jordan Weeb looking to inbound. He gets it out to Bowie. Looks for a shot. Decides to set it up. Gets it into Moses and into Vish Cron again. And now we get another shot. Moses goes up and jump ball is called. Good defense by Girardi.
This ball in the possession arrow is going to go over to River East. Fort Richmond and River East both playing tough man-to-man here.
Moses with a nice turnaround. Nice little shot there by Jamie Moses. River East once again takes this lead. I think we're going to see the lead change hands a number of times in this game as well. Modsey looking to pass it off. Gets it out to Gina. Gina goes up for an easy two.
It's a good job by Gina. What we have is River East going to a little bit of a zone there, and the bottom line is they just left that baseline too accessible.
Yes, exactly. Chris Dick looking to pass the ball off to Jordan Weeb, who's almost had the ball slapped away. Goes up for a jump shot, just a little bit short. Ball goes out of bounds off the River East player, so Fort Richmond takes over possession. Modsey picking up the pace here. Decides to slow things down, set up the offense. Girardi with the ball. And he's driving, dishes it off, but unfortunately, the ball goes off his fingers and misses Gina.
That was a good job this time by River East as they closed up that middle. Forced Fort Richmond to look on the outside. Good job by Gina thus far on Dick.
We get Chris Dick, pushes the ball off. He's really willing to give the ball up a lot right now early on. Could be a tactic, and there we get Weeb getting a piece of Atwell's shot, and River East maintains possession.
That was a great block, great body control by Weeb. Here comes Bowie once again. This is the man who's a little general here. He's going to make sure that he gets a good look, just exactly what he wants to do. Good job by Beaudry on the steal.
Girardi gets to a Modsey, and then we get a foul, I believe, called on.
That foul's going to go against Ian Bowie at River East.
I've got to make a point of saying Ian Bowie and not Cam Bowie, who's my vice principal and his father. Nice shot on that first one by Modsey. Get a sub coming in. Manny Weeb is into play for River East.
Also stepping on the court.
Mike Collision is also in for Atwell. Second shot a little short, but a good rebound by Legree. Unfortunately, couldn't pop it in there. Dowie brings the ball up for River East. Good defense, good control by Bowie. Bowie gets the ball and travels. Just took one too many steps there.
Good pressure by River East. Good, I should say, yeah, Fort Richmond. Good team defense here.
There's Amadze with an outside shot. It falls short, but he gets his own rebound, unable to control it. Good hustle there by Manny Weeb.
Good hustle by River East.
Chris Dick slows things down, looks to set up the offense. If you leave him open, he'll take advantage of it. Apparently, he shot just a number of three-pointers the other night. Well, I guess he had to get 49 points. Probably shot from everywhere. There's an open shot there. Doesn't drop in for Chris Dick. Good rebound by Legree.
Good block out by Legree down at the defensive end.
Girardi with the ball. Looks to drive. No foul called in. Great rebound there. Couple rebounds, and I believe that was Ennis Gina that got the final shot there for Fort Richmond.
That was a good putback by Legree, but it was Gina
Now he
who
looks to
finished
take it
off.
right to the hoop there. Sorry, Laurie. Cut you off there. Whoa, big foul there.
That's good ball movement by Fort Richmond. They've got the ball out on the floor, and they're letting the ball do the work here.
And they lead right now 7-3, 14:46 left in this opening half.
Coach Okamabua has to be happy with the pace here of the game. The Centurions like to play up tempo. We're going to look at Tokar come in here for Amadze. This is someone who can really light it up if he gets hot.
Tarek Tokar. Jimmy Moses looking to inbound the ball. He gets the ball to Chris Dick. A little bit of pressure being put on by Fort Richmond, but sagging off quite a bit. Bowie with the ball. He's looking to drive, dish off to Moses, who goes up for an easy two. Good play by Bowie.
Good execution there by the River East Kodiaks. Good two-man game with Bowie and Moses.
The shot by John. Sorry, it was by Gina. Chris Dick going right to the hoop. Again, misses, so things just not dropping in early on here for Chris Dick.
That's a good job by Chris, taking the ball right to the hole. He's just got to simply get into rhythm here, let the game come to him.
That's right, once they start dropping in, he's obviously done it on a number of times. Nice outside shot there by Mike Polishin.
Good board by Jamie Moses.
Chris Dick bringing the ball up, gets it to Jordan Weeb. Looks for a very far outside three-point shot. Falls a little short, but great rebound by Manny Weeb. He's come up with a few rebounds for River East. Unfortunately, couldn't connect on that shot, but Girardi going, dishes it off. Coalition with that shot.
Good ball movement by the Centurions.
Bowie dribbling the ball up, controlling the offense right now for River East. Taking a look, trying to get it into Weeb. Weeb taking a look. Chris Dick on the outside. Looked like he was going to initially take that shot. Setting a screen for him so he can drive. Not much of an open, but plays it off the backboard. Unfortunately, doesn't drop in for him, but that was a good shot.
Good job by Dick. Good ball control. Good body movement.
Girardi going to the hoop for Fort Richmond. Loses control there. Doesn't drop in, but boy, did he go hard. Ian Bowie going to the hoop now.
Oh, that's a tough shot by Ian.
Very tough shot. You can see the contact there, thrown off balance, so he had to go up very hard. 5'7" guard for River East. Legree with the ball, unable to control it. Moses grabs onto it, and we've got
Legree's a little upset with himself.
We've got a timeout being called on the floor by, I believe we're going to go to the River East side right now, so we'll get a listen in to their timeout, first timeout of the game.
I'm asking a question. Mike. Okay, can you please tell Ozzy, I'm not trying to be personal, I was asking the question. I asked him, does he have the ball? I'm not trying to be confrontational.
You got to call things really early.
He's cheating like crazy, and then that post has got to make a ball screen quick on Chris.
Okay, because you're working really hard.
Push it up, yeah. Push it up, run the lane.
Hey, keep pushing it, okay?
Defense on 1, 3, 2, 1.
Defense.
Okay, what we've got here, of course, Coach Hildebrand, he wants to see a little bit more up-tempo from River East. What is happening, of course, is they're a little bit back on their heels, and they're letting the Centurions take the game to them. He wants them to dictate what they're going to do.
So they got to be a little bit more aggressive, start being in control of their own destiny here. Good movement by River East. Chris Dick tried to get the ball into Jamie Moses. Good hustle by Moses. It's always good to have Moses on your side. Chris Dick with the ball. Gets it outside. John Zach gets it back to Dick. Again, River East having difficulty getting a shot off here, but Chris Dick goes up a little bit short again. Atwell comes down with the rebound. Fort Richmond really starting to hustle.
Good team defense, as we mentioned before, by the Centurions. Gina's doing a good job on Chris. What he's doing is just letting him know that he's there. We've got Legree, and oh, this is going to go. We're looking at probably a block on Jamie Moses. This could be his second.
It's right for their big guy down low. Playing the post, that's his second foul. He doesn't want to get into foul trouble early on.
Well, as you can see, although Legree is a big player, he's active on the perimeter.
Legree 6'4", number 3 player in the province. The third-ranked player.
That's a good defensive board by Chris Dick.
In Bowie with the ball. Outside shot. Oh, it goes around the rim. Still not dropping in for Chris Dick at this point.
It's a good look.
Definitely a good look and a good shot. Legree with the shot and going up really hard. Coming down with a good rebound was Ennis Gina. He had to go up very strong. So he'll go to the line. Ennis Gina, the number 9 ranked top player in the province.
Chris Dick is going to pick up his first foul here. Great offensive rebound by Gina. He's going to go to the line, get 2. Vishkron back in for Weeb.
And is Gina going for his second shot now? His team leads 12-7. Misses that second shot, but gets the rebound as it's tipped off one of the River East players. Can't convert it. Atwell almost landing on Bowie. Good control by Bowie. Good control there by Ian Bowie. Gets it to Chris Dick. He's looking to penetrate, push off a little bit, sends it outside to Bowie. Trying to get it into Moses, move things around. Jamie Moses with the ball. Loses it. Almost looked like no players wanted that ball for a bit. Atwell gets it.
Going to go a quick timeout with the Centurions. Right now, the River East I should say River East Kodiaks, they're a little bit out of sync offensively. They've got to get some movement.
That's right. We're going to go to the timeout on the Fort Richmond Centurion side.
Triangle pie. Hey, we're going to come around. Daly, I want you guys to end the screen. Daly's up here. In less than 2 minutes. Ennis, listen up. Ennis here. Allie, just dribble entry. Right, Allie over here. Danny, stay wide. Okay?
Defense on 1. 3, 2, 1.
Defense. Daly.
Here we hear the timeout on the Fort Richmond side. We saw this game start off very, very fast. And actually what we're seeing is a lot of shots being taken, a lot just not dropping in, players having to work very, very hard, and a lot of contact when they are going up for the shot. So right now, probably typically a low-scoring game, 12-7, under 10 minutes left in this first half.
Bottom line, as you said, Missy, we've got a situation where teams are working hard. There's just nothing falling for either team right now on the offensive end.
That's right, and there we see Ali Amadze driving to the hoop. Count the two, he'll get an opportunity for a three-point play here.
That was a good job by the Centurions offensively. Spread the floor out, take their time, and we've got Amadze. He is quick.
5'8" guard at the line, see if he can complete this three-point play, and he doesn't, and big rebound by Legree, goes up strong, another two. They take a commanding lead now, 16-7, up by 9 points.
Well, that's what Legree does very well, and if I had my druthers, I'd rather have him down in the paint than out on the perimeter.
One of the bigger players on the floor, 6'4". You see Rivers putting a bit of pressure on Legree, who also came down with another rebound. He's looking to drive, dish off. Mike Polishin with the shot. Natwell coming down with the rebound. Keeps things alive for Fort Richmond.
Good hustle by the Centurions right here.
Atwell gets it inside to Legree. Good turnaround. Left-handed shot. Doesn't drop in. Gets his own rebound and puts it up. Rivers has got to stop Legree.
We need some lockouts here for the Kodiaks. We can only allow Fort Richmond one shot and one shot only.
That's right. And it looks like they're ready to put Jordan Weed back on the floor, and they'll probably need him at 6'6". Chris Dick with the ball. Making his movement towards the hoop. Unfortunately, again, doesn't drop in. Good dish off there to Moses. Just not falling in right now for River East.
Things aren't going well for River East at the offensive end. Good job by Chris Dick there. We talked about the whole idea of Genus doing a good job on the perimeter. He's taking his game inside.
Good steal by Chris Dick. Controls it. He's going to go right to the hoop. We'll see if Legree can stop him, but there's a foul.
Legree's going to get called for grabbing Dick well before the foul line.
Jordan Weed back into the game. And he'll replace John Zach. John Zach did a very good job for River East while he was on. I'm sure they could use the height of Jordan Weed right now. Nice pass in. That's Vish Cron. He's fouled on the play, so that'll put River East to the line. Ezra Vish Cron, 6'5".
Right now, what the Kodiaks need is some easy buckets right now, and this can start things going for them right here. With the clock stopped, get these two, play some good defense, get that ball back, get a stop.
That's right, and that momentum could change so easily because they are getting some good looks, they're taking some good shots. Unfortunately, they're just not dropping in for them right now.
Well, right now, as you mentioned, Missy, they're not dropping in. You know that the River East faithful here are just waiting for Chris Dick to get hot and drop a couple, and that's just what the Kodiaks need to get them going.
That's
momentum,
right.
As you mentioned, was so big.
Yeah, it can change so quickly. And sometimes you wonder, when you've had a hot game like that, can you continue to do it? Can you keep doing that? You know, he had such a big game. Will he do it in this final? But he has done it on a number of occasions. That wasn't the first time he had a game in the 40s.
River East defensively goes back to man-to-man.
Get the ball into Legree, turn around, off the backboard, doesn't fall in, gets the rebound, and once again, they've got to block him out.
What we need to do if we are the Kodiaks, everybody on that team's got to start hitting the defensive boards.
Chris Dick with the ball, looking to drive in. Goes up for it. It looked like he was undecided on that shot. Couldn't control the ball. Ale Amadze, but good steal.
That's a good job by Chris Dick to get back defensively, however.
No question, because it looked like Amadze had a clear path right to the hoop. But it looked like Chris Dick changed his mind on that last shot and ended up jumping and had to get rid of the ball, so it wasn't so much a blocked shot. Weeb with the ball is looking to drive inside, and again around the world, just not dropping in for them.
The shooting percentage right now for River East has to be abysmal.
They trail 20-8. This is probably one of the biggest leads Fort Richmond has ever had over River East, and another basket by Ali Amadze, 5'8" guard for Fort Richmond.
He shoots right up over Bowie. We have Bowie bringing the ball back right now. River East's got to settle down here. We got Coach Hildebrad's going to call a full timeout.
And probably a good time to call a timeout because things really not working River East's way right now, and things looking pretty good for Fort Richmond, so we want to try and change that momentum. We'll get a chance to listen in to Erwin Hildebrandt and the River East timeout.
Okay. You know what? You know, an extra 30 seconds, guys. We're just cold, right? We're just cold. It'll come, right? The key here is just to defensively, just to hang in here long enough for us to get back into it on offense. Okay? It's not a big lead that they got. Want to go back to 12? Jordan's back in. Let's go back to 12. James, you're okay? Want a 30 second? You want a sub for 30 seconds? I don't know if I can do. Okay. Okay, I'll get you on the next one. Okay. Okay. Jordan's back in. Let's run 12. Run Chris through, and we're looking for the post if they cheat. Otherwise, we're getting the Chris. Quick. Let's go, guys. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Quick screen on Chris's man. Quick screen on Chris's man. Manny.
There we can hear Coach Erwin Hildebrandt with the River East Kodiaks trying to get his team focused, pumped up, given that they might just be starting off a little bit cold, a little bit slow. Let's start getting things moving here.
This is a good job by Coach Hildebrandt. Let's just settle down. Let's try and get something here. Maybe get Chris off of a screen. And let's get back into this a little bit defensively. They don't get the easy one here. What they need right now is they need to stop.
There's a foul by Jordan Weeb. I would think not a great time to take a foul. I'm sure he's going to be faced with enough of those playing defense in his own end, so probably one he didn't want to take.
No, that's not one he wanted to take. Jordan just a little bit frustrated there. A reach in, you don't want to make a foul like 80 feet from the hoop. There's no need for that. What River East has got to do right now is play some tough man-to-man. Let's get a stop. Let's get the Centurions off of the offensive glass.
Like they're trying to get the ball into Legree. Luke Dunlop is on the floor. It's Dunlop. Amadze looking to set things up, and almost a steal by River East. Grant Rayner with the shot, doesn't drop in. Bowie with the rebound. Looks like he was bumped from behind by Grant Rayner.
Well, that's a good job by the Kodiaks. That's good, tough defense. That's a good stop. Now let's go to the other end and let's execute offensively and let's get going here.
That's right. They certainly don't want to see Fort Richmond continue to put points up on the board and make even a bigger lead than they already have. 22-8, 6:09 left in the first half. It started off as a very quick pace. It slowed down a little bit, and things so far haven't really been dropping in for River East, and that's pretty much been the difference. They've taken a lot of good shots and just not dropping in, but I'm sure they're hoping that that'll change very, very soon.
That's a real tough pass that Jordan Weeb tried to complete there. What we've got to do for River East, let's take our time. Let's make things a little bit easier on ourselves down at this offensive end here. As Coach Hildebrandt mentioned, yeah, we're down, we're cold. It's definitely not an insurmountable lead. What we've got to do is we've just got to hang in here defensively until we start to click at the offensive end.
Vishkron, get a look at him at the line. He's good for 2, 22-10. Ali Amadze brings the ball up for Fort Richmond. Girardi with the ball back to Amadze. Grant Rayner looking to drive, dishes it off to Girardi, takes a shot a little bit short, but once again, Deli Legree coming down with a crucial rebound and puts it up for 2 for Fort Richmond.
Well, River East, if we keep saying it, Missy, what they have to do, I mean, they're getting the defensive stops, but it's that offensive glass that's killing them.
That's right. Jordan Weeb, turnaround shot, doesn't drop in. Legree again with the rebound.
Well, we can see the difference here, Missy. When it comes to the Kodiaks, they're only getting one offensive opportunity, and that's it.
That's right. Chris Dick with the steal here. Amadze tries to get position there on defense, but Chris Dick just goes around him, drops in 2 points for River East.
That's a good push by Chris. What we have to do now for River East is we're going to have to just simply build on this, and let's see what we can do defensively.
That's right. It might be hard to believe that was his first basket. He had one at the foul line. Girardi going up, not fouled on the play. I think he hit the ball out of bounds. So River East will take over possession here. I think we have a substitution coming back on the floor. Jamie Moses back on.
He's going to come in for Manny Weeb. Manny Weeb working hard against Legree.
That's Fort Richmond's big guy. Legree, the number 3 player in the province, so one of the top players here on the floor as well. Looks like we've got a reaching foul called against Fort Richmond.
We're in a situation here with River East down at this offensive end. A lot of their pushes one-on-one, and what we've got to do is let's, in terms of conversion, let's try and do something here as a team. We had Coach Hildebrand talk about the fact that we might want to run Chris Weeb off of a couple of screens and warm him up.
That's right, they got to create some openings. Fort Richmond doing a good job covering them, but make some screens, give them an opportunity to get some lanes and an opportunity to get to the basket, get some good shots.
That's Rayner at the top. He's going to be called for travel ball.
A little bit of movement before he put the ball to the floor. I guess the thing to also remember with Chris Dick is, you know, he can get some good inside shots, but he's also very capable of shooting from the outside. So he can do it all for River East.
Well, River East has done what they want to do in terms of get some good, hard defense. We look at the fact with just over 4 minutes left in this first half, Fort Richmond has only scored 24, so they're doing the job at the defensive end.
That's
what
right.
they've got to do is they've got to convert down at the offensive end.
That's right. And if I was Fort Richmond, I wouldn't be getting too comfortable with this because you know what Chris Dick is capable of doing. So it hasn't dropped in yet, but once it does, he is capable of getting very, very hot.
What we've got to do now, if we're Richmond, we have to look now. We're up there in the fouls. The bottom line is, Coach Okamabua, you do not want to have happen just what has happened here the last few times down the floor. River East has managed to be very successful from the foul line with that clock stop missing.
That's right. We cut it down to 10. 24-14 is the lead for Fort Richmond. Girardi gets the ball. Good movement by Fort Richmond. That's Tarek Tokar. And it was Enes Gina with the shot. Another foul being called on the play. I don't know if this one's going against Jordan Weeb. So we talked about that foul that he took earlier. Could be very costly for him.
Well, we've got a situation here where Coach Moses and Okamabua, they've managed to get Legree out of the game. They enjoy that 10-point lead. They're getting him a good rest. And then once again, even with Legree out, River East gives up the offensive board.
That's right. Actually, that last foul was called against Jamie Moses, so he's sitting at 3 fouls. So they'll sit him down for a while. They can't afford to lose their big guy. Oh, that ball in and out. Doesn't drop in. Good control there by Girardi. Outside shot by Luke Dunlop. Chris Dick.
Offensive board again. They're going to come back to really haunt the Kodiaks here.
Ian Bowie with the ball. Good movement again by River East. Chris Dick with an outside shot. Still not dropping in for him. Jordan Weeb almost coming down with that rebound, but good job by Tarek Tokar for Richmond. Got a block shot, I believe, by River East. Chris Dick looking to hustle down the court. Gets it out to Jordan Weeb. Jordan Weeb with the outside three-point shot. A much-needed basket. That could lift their spirits.
Good timeout here by Coach Okamabua. He's going to take a full timeout here. He's going to, just as you mentioned, talk to his charges here. You don't want to get too lazy here, boys. The bottom line is River East, they can turn it around.
Timeout.
Right now we get an opportunity to listen to the Fort Richmond
last couple of times, guys. We have gone down and not found out who we're covering, right? If Mike Pye steps up on Chris Dick, find the open man. Sprint back on defense. You guys get our composure back. Get the pressure back up. All right, get a pressure going back up. All right, that's it. That's all I have to say. Hey, next time down, let's go 4 out. Daly inside. All right, Daly's inside. Hey, if you're inside, head fakes, and then hammer somebody. Hammer somebody, all right? Defense on 3. Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Defense. Good job, Luke.
Well, that's a good timeout, as I mentioned, by Coach Okamabua. And once again, as far as his orders are concerned, pretty simple. Let's get back to doing the things that we were doing that gave us that lead that we can enjoy.
That's right. They were up 22-8. It's now 25-17. So River East doing a good job of closing the gap. Tarek Tokar with the ball right now for Fort Richmond. Gets it out to Gina. Coalition gets it into Girardi, back to Coalition, takes the outside shot, just off the mark. Legree almost with another rebound, but we've got Gina with the ball, couldn't convert. Chris Dick comes down with the rebound for River East Kodiaks.
Well, that's the Kodiaks giving up another offensive board, Missy, but this time, luckily for them, they weren't hurt by it. Now what they've got to do is show some patience here, and let's convert down here at the offensive end.
Chris Dick looking to drive in, but is fouled on the play. I believe that puts him also in the bonus situation, so that'll put Chris Dick to the line. He's good with the first one. He'll get an opportunity to take that second shot.
As you mentioned earlier, Missy, we started off at a rapid pace, and here now we kind of be slowing things down. We've got Coach Okamabua. It's kind of like everyone in the building and the game itself, we're waiting for something to happen here.
Yeah. And that could very quickly happen. We've got less than 2 minutes left in the game. 1:56. Chris Dick, another steal. Sorry, left in the half, that's right.
Very
big rebound.
Very important at that time for a little bit of patience there by Jordan Weeb. There was no need to take that three-pointer. That down here convert, and there's just a difference of 4.
Almost a steal by Bowie, and then he does end up coming up with the steal. He's going to go right to the hoop. Fouled hard, but it drops in. This could be the Shaw Cable turning point.
Oh, as you said, Missy, you were looking for something to happen. This is great hustle by Ian Bowie. He does a great job. He gets a little bit out of position, and then he comes right back. He takes the ball, goes hard to the hole. He's going to make a three-pointer here, and guess what? River East is right back in this ball game.
That's for sure, and you know what? This is exactly what's to happen. Chris Dick right now is struggling a little bit with the shot. The rest of the team has to pick it up a little bit and put some points on the board for them.
Well, as you're saying, everyone else, I mean, what we have is a lot of the fans here and the River East players waiting for something to happen. The bottom line is, if it's not there for Chris, everybody's got to come out to play.
That's
Good
right.
hustle by Bowie.
Amadze with the ball. He gets it out to Girardi into Legree. Weak shot. Atwell keeps that ball alive. Bowie almost fouled there. Amadze drives right. They cannot let him walk right in like that.
That's great penetration by Amadze. Chris Dick coming right back down the court. He's going to try and answer.
And the ball stolen once again by Enes Gina. Amadze brings the ball up the floor. Gets it out to Girardi. We have 40 seconds left in the first half. Legree goes up, but there's a foul on the play.
That foul's probably going to go against Chris Dick. That would be his second.
Or was it against 00 Manny Wee?
Centurion's got to put some full court pressure on here.
Legree again, good with the shot. Manny Weeb inbounds the ball to Bowie. Pressure being put on, just like you called it, Laurie. Chris Dick with the ball. River East easily gets out of that pressure. Chris Dick looking for some help. Bowie with the ball. Takes the outside shot, just a little bit long. Legree with the ball for Fort Richmond. Amadze bringing the ball up, calling the play. Looking to take the last shot. There's 5 seconds left. Gets it inside, and this goes up. Legree gets another shot. That's 3 opportunities there, and finally the first half ends.
Well, what we had is we had a very, very quick start by both teams, but as we saw happen, it was very cold for Fort Richmond at the, I should say, for River East at the offensive end. Richmond just kind of sat on their lead for a while. River East came back, got themselves back into the game. Coach Okamabua, a very timely timeout, told his team that we've got to start picking things up again, and as a result, they enjoy a lead here at halftime.
That's right, and exactly what you want to do as a coach is call those good timeouts, good timing. You want to stop the bleeding, and that's exactly what was happening there. But good that we can see that River East can really come back into this one. I'm sure you're going to see Chris Dick come out very hot in the second half. At least that's what River East is going to be hoping for. But if not, there's still 4 other players on the floor, and they've got to also pick up their socks and make sure that they try and convert for the team. It is a team effort. At this point, the score at halftime is 29-22 in favor of Fort Richmond, the #1 ranked team, over River East.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Valens from Shaw TV. We hope you're enjoying our coverage of the Provincial 4A Basketball Championships and the number of other events we bring you through the year. We're proud to sponsor these events, and on behalf of us all, I wish to thank you for watching, and thank you for choosing Shaw.
Thank you, Jeremy. With me right now is the Assistant Executive Director of the Manitoba High School Athletics Association, Carrie Lesuc. Carrie, lots of basketball happening this week. Fill us in on what happened this week.
It's been a very busy last 2 weekends, actually. As of this year, we took over the JV Provincial Basketball Championships in rural Manitoba and Winnipeg-Brandon areas. And we just came home from Neepawa at 6 o'clock this morning from the AAA Championships. But some exciting action there. It looks like Neelan boys and girls in the 3A category walked away with their second consecutive title. Out in Hamiota, we had the Treehorn girls win another championship for that area. And then all the other championships. So it's a very busy basketball championship weekend, and I know in the last 2 weeks I've ranked over 180 teams for wild cards and seating information. So a lot of high school teams playing basketball out there in the last 2 weekends.
You're a very busy man. We have a great game happening here today.
Yeah, it's everything it was up to be. The girls' game, we had the #1 and 3 seed, which didn't mean a whole lot because those teams have battled all season long. And these two teams have played each other 3 times this year, all of them excellent games. So promises to be an exciting finish in the boys as well.
Now, once this weekend is finished with basketball, there's also a lot of things happening in the Manitoba High School Athletics Association. Fill us in on that.
Yeah, for us at the office, for Morris and I, we feel this is our March Madness because we had hockey, curling, and basketball on 1 month. But this spring we have badminton, badminton, track and field, soccer, and fastball yet. So a busy spring. We have spring break. We're looking forward, and then we get right back into it.
Well, thanks a lot for being here with us today.
My pleasure.
You're having a great tournament.
Great. It's been awesome.
With more on today's tournament, let's go back up to Missy and Lori.
Thank you very much, Bob. That was Carrie Lesuc with the Manitoba High School Athletic Association. I wouldn't want his schedule.
Oh no, he's
they
a
are
busy
definitely
man.
busy.
He's a busy man. He puts a lot of miles on his vehicle. It was nice of him to go up and visit everybody up in Neepawa and actually even spend the evening as he was fogged in,
I believe. That's right. They talked about the fog coming in from Brandon and Portage La Prairie, and he got caught in that, so he did make it back. And both him and Morris Glimcher do an outstanding job with the High School Athletic Association. These championships are put on because of them and their organization. So we'd like to thank them for always doing a very good job and continuing to do a good job.
Well, continuing to do a good job, and just as you say that, Missy, we have the River East Kodiaks walk back onto the floor. What they've got to do is they've got to get down to work. The bottom line is, you mentioned just as we were breaking for the half, about the fact that what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to start playing as a team. It seems that a lot of their players, and as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the crowd waiting for Chris Dick to break out. The bottom line is Chris is not going to be able to do that every night. So as a result, they're going to have other people step up. Ian Bowie has done a good job trying to run the crew, but what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to start to convert offensively. Defensively, they got it together just as Coach Hildebrand wanted. They came up with some very, very timely stops, cut the lead by the Centurions to about 4, and now with 29-22 at the half, down 7, anything can happen here in the second half.
Oh, no question. That's not much of a lead. They had a bit of a lead there, but River East cut that short in the last little bit. And what you said about Chris Dick, I mean, it is a team sport. You can't rely on just one player. The other players have to start putting the ball up and taking some shots. And, you know, it is definitely a good team effort here. Fort Richmond on the other side has done a really good job, I'd say mostly with the rebounding. They are getting more and more shots because of the rebounding that they are coming down with, especially with Legree. So we'll see if Fort Richmond can continue that. We'd like to go courtside right now to Bob, as he's got an interview with Garth McAlpine.
That's right, Missy. We heard from Murray Brown earlier about the girls' ranking. The man responsible for the boys' ranking is Garth McAlpine. How did the rankings work out this year?
The rankings worked out. Chris Dick finished as our #1 player. Matthew Apolko of NBCI was 2. Daly Legree of Fort Richmond, who we're seeing here tonight, was 3. Demir Zmanovic, who we saw last night from Kelvin, is ranked #4. Jared Beauville, also last night from Silver Heights, was 5. John Menjivar from Kelvin was 6. Ryan Roper, Oak Park, 7. Ennis Jaina from FRC was 9. Ian Millen was 8. And Justin Jones of St. Paul's was our #10 ranked player this year.
Now, what are you looking for when you rank these players?
We look at what each player has done as an individual, and then of course how much each individual has helped their team's success. That comes into play a lot. I think every player that was ranked this year was in a top 10 team and was featured here in the MHSAA Provincial Championships.
Was it a tough decision to make the rankings?
You know what, at the beginning of the year when we looked at the players, we thought that it was going to be, but a lot of players really stepped up their games, and the top 10 players were easy. It was just putting them in an order that became difficult.
And that order, of course, Chris Dick, he's playing here tonight. What can you say about him? He's phenomenal.
Chris is just a very, very talented player and by far the best player in the province. It was easy to put him as our #1 player. He can defend, he can score, he can rebound. Tonight he's a little bit off with his shot, but he's doing things at other aspects of the game that's really helping River East get back into it.
Now, what do they need to do to get back into the game tonight?
They started to distribute the ball a little bit better, and other players are getting some looks. I think they looked for Chris too early. They kind of gave him the ball and let him try and create himself, and everybody else stood and watched. Others are starting to get involved, and if they can start to play and he can get hot, it's going to be a real good game.
Well, Garth, let's get back to it. Of course, they're going to tip off the second half with more. Here's Missy.
Thank you very much, Bob. I think Garth has been looking at her notes. Mind you, that wouldn't surprise me if he memorized that. He memorized those top 10. I think he's kind of like Rain Man.
Well, just as Garth was saying, what we've got to do if we are the River East Kodiaks is we've got to get going here. 7 points, it's nothing to let it bother you at all. What they've got to do is they've got to get down here at the offensive end as a team, and what they've got to do is go through their team offense, their half-court offense, and they've got to start to convert. Down at the defensive end, they played some good team defense, but as you mentioned, Missy, what they've got to do is they've got to start to block out. They've got to hold the Centurions just to one shot. They've got to get on that defensive glass. If you're the Centurions, Coach Okamabua, in the last timeout, he's just summed it all up for them. Let's pick up the tempo. Let's get going, guys. Let's play.
That's right. And Fort Richmond has done a really good job of mixing things up a little bit and utilizing a lot of the players. You hate to keep talking about Chris Dick, and you can't really be waiting for him, but sometimes when you look at the mental aspect of a game, if you're sitting and waiting for one of your players, then mentally the attitude of the remainder of the players is they are just sort of sitting back and not really doing anything. So you've got to change sort of that mentality and be prepared to do something. Don't sit back on your heels and wait.
Well, the bottom line is that first half's over. So
Yeah,
the sign of a good team, what they do at halftime is they discuss, they have a look at what they were doing wrong or what they weren't managing to complete, and they come out and they take care of that here in the second half. So that's what I'm expecting that the Kodiaks are going to do. As far as the Centurions, they've got to do the same thing. What did we do? We kind of let up on the pressure. We kind of let up on the flow of the game. What we've got to do is we've got to pick things up. That's what got us going. So it'll be interesting to see if once they have decided where they want to go ahead and develop, that they can come out and either team. The team that manages to do that is the team that's going to win.
That's right. You got to make those changes, and you got to make them now, because like you said, the first half is over. It's down to this second half. Anything can happen. No one's got a substantial lead right now. It's only 7 points, 29-22. And it comes down to this half, so we'll see which team comes out prepared and hot and willing to do something.
Right now, if you're Coach Hildebrand, you've got to feel good with Fort Richmond having the ball, because what you've got to do is you've got to start off with a defensive stop.
That's right. You also got to feel good about the fact that you know the balls weren't dropping in, and you're only down by 7. Pressure being put on by Fort Richmond.
That was a little bit hard for River East trying to get a defensive stop. I think that went in off Jamie Moses.
We get Ian Bowie looking to set things up. Jamie Moses into Jordan Weave, and he converts. So both teams starting off with a quick basket.
As you can see with Coach Hildebrand, you've got to like it bringing Jamie Moses out to the perimeter and trying to get Legree a little bit away from the glass.
There's Legree with the ball, taking a look from the outside, looking to drive. No shot open. Amadze takes a shot, and it drops in for Fort Richmond.
Just far too much room.
Chris Dick looking to take a shot for River East, gets it inside. That was Ezra Vishkron. River East will maintain possession. Jordan Weave to inbound the ball underneath the basket.
What Cron had to do was take that up with his left hand, get it away from all that traffic.
That's right, Ezra. Good job, Vishkron, with that basket. Count it. Foul called on the play. He'll get an opportunity to complete this three-point play and put River East right back in this one.
On the other side of the basket, he does a great job. He takes it up strong, and he's going, as you said, to the line.
Vishkron successful, finishes that three-point play. 33-27 is the score. Just at the start of the second half, this Provincial 4A Boys Championship game. And that's Atwell going up strong. And once again, Legree getting that rebound. He came out of nowhere. You can see all the players in there. He just jumped in there, grabbed that ball. And of course, River East commits a foul, so that puts Legree to the line.
Oh, it looks like if that goes against Jamie Moses, that's going to be his 4th.
And that, it definitely is against Jamie Moses. That is his 4th foul. That's very early for him to now be taken off the floor. Something River East probably can't afford to do, because does that not then put a lot more pressure again on Chris Dick?
And what it does is, as you say, it just simply, there's a ripple effect what happens here, and what's going to end up happening, of course, is, just as you said, more pressure on Chris Dick, more pressure on the rest of the teammates as well.
That's
Bottom
right.
line is, you're River East, that shot goes up, you got to block out.
Yeah, there's no question. We talked about the rebounding before, and they get that shot in. Nice play by Jordan Weave to keep that alive. Chris Dick with the ball. He takes a shot, still not dropping in for them. Oh, and there we get Manny Weave coming down, but travels. So a turnover for River East.
Now
Fans
we got to
don't
wonder
like that
right away.
play.
Did Manny travel, or Manny traveled because he was hit?
Yeah, that's not sure, but there we get a violation called against Fort Richmond. Palming the ball.
Jordan Weed coming back to relieve a little bit of the pressure on Bowie.
Bowie with the outside shot just falls short. Looked like no one was there on either team to really rebound. They're waiting for the ball to come to them.
Good job, however, by the Centurions defensively. As you can see, the Legree is switched off of Jordan Weave, and what we want him is we want him close to the glass.
That's right, Amadze, good control. Keep that ball alive. Bowie almost with the steal. Bowie looking to pickpocket him a couple of times there. Fort Richmond moving that ball around. They get it in now to Legree, who loses control, another turnover. So you need Chris Dick, I would think, to turn things around right now. Otherwise, you'd think that he might be getting a little frustrated with the fact that they're not dropping in for him. So he's around right now.
Good defense here by the Centurions.
And we get a push by Atwell. 34-27 in favor of Fort Richmond. 17:07 left in the second half. So we're just early on in the second half of this championship game. They get the ball into Bowie.
It's a good job by the Kodiaks as they execute that inbound.
That's right, that was a good play. He was wide open there. I think they try and do that one more often now. Legree going up strong, but no foul called on the play, and then a steal by Amadze. Fort Richmond looking to slow things down a little bit, see if they can get something started. I think they're going to still try and get that ball into Legree. Big guy for Fort Richmond. Oh, almost a steal there. Atwell keeps it alive. Good job by Atwell. Danny Atwell getting the ball to Ali Amadze. Amadze looking to drive, dishes it off. That was Ennis Gina. Goes up again, and a jump being called. Manny Weeb, good job on defense by Manny Weeb. I think they were looking for a foul to be called, but they're calling a jump.
There's that jump ball. Coach Hillebrand saying, hold it here. It shouldn't have. We had Fort Richmond. Fort Richmond started the half with the ball, Missy.
That's right. They might not have changed the possession arrow.
This is a good call.
That's Ozzy.
Good job by referee Philippin.
That's right. Ozzy does a number of these games, very experienced, does an outstanding job. Stick with the ball. Looking to set things up. Bowie wide open, left wide open, takes his shot, doesn't drop in, but we've got Vish Cron. The rebound goes up for the shot, and another save by Atwell. Things really just not dropping in, and there we get an undisciplined foul again by the River East Kodiaks. I believe this one going against Ian Bowie.
I think Ian just a little frustrated that he missed that three.
I think River East may be getting.
He was so wide open.
Yeah. But that's what they need to do. If they're left wide open, you got to take those shots. We saw earlier in the girls' game with Eleanor Tapasio taking those outside shots. My goodness.
River East just seems to be almost a step behind down at the offensive end.
Yeah,
they're just
really
not quite crisp enough.
And maybe showing a little bit of frustration now with the balls not dropping in, because they are often getting some good looks.
They're getting good looks, but the bottom line, what's really killing them, Missy, is they got to block out.
Yeah.
That's Legree with another offensive putback.
Well, I mean, if you give a team that many opportunities to take shots, they're bound to put one in.
And that's what's happening right now. Manny Weeb, good, strong defensive board. That's what the Kodiaks have to do.
Chris Dick getting the ball to John Zach, to Bowie. Oh, and fouled right in the face. Looks like he was going for the steal and ended up getting them right in the face. Bowie protecting the ball. Bowie really looking to almost do this himself. Weeb not able to hold on to that ball. So River, he's just struggling not being able to hold on to that. That ball right off the back of Chris Dick, but Bowie comes up with the ball. I think he's gonna slow things down. Chris Dick going right to the hoop. And he's getting, you can see he's showing some frustration now, hitting the mat in the back after missing that shot. Had a clear drive, got fouled on the play, so he'll go to the line.
That's good penetration by Chris. He knows that he's got to put those in. Still, they're easily within striking distance.
Chris doing a good job from the line. sitting at 6 points now, and I believe 4 of those are from the line right now. So slowly but surely we can get those points on the board.
Grant Rayner in for the Centurions. Fort Richmond's got to show a little bit of patience down here at the offensive end.
Yeah, things are definitely working in their favor right now. They're looking for a foul. Legree went up very hard. It looked like Manning Weeb was hoping that they were going to call a charge against Legree. No call made. River East looking to set up here. Outside shot. That was John Zach off the mark there. You know, what's really ironic is when you sit back here and you're calling this game, you're sort of looking at it going, it feels like, now it just feels like Fort Richmond is in complete control of this game, and yet the score is only 38-31.
Good job by Legree as he goes up for that offensive glass.
And Chris Dick knocked the ball away to Bowie. Bowie goes straight to the hoop. Bowie's the one that's really coming through for River East tonight. And that's exactly what they have to do. Don't rely on anyone else. Be in control of yourself and start putting the points on. They can't wait forever here. Bowie sitting with 9 points. He's leading his team with scoring.
Good cut by Rayner.
Good cut. The ball doesn't go up. Forces it off the backboard. So it's only a 5-point difference here, 38-33, 13:44 left in the second half of this provincial championship game.
Fort Richmond at the offensive end, Missy, I said they've got to show some patience. What they have to do is they've got to run their half-court offense, and they have to look for Legree.
And we talked about River East, the ball's just not dropping in, and yet they're only down by 5. So Fort Richmond should be building on their lead right now, because if River East gets hot, they're in big trouble. How could they not be? There we get a block shot. Chris Dick showing a little bit of frustration here, I think. He got blocked on that shot. Looked pretty clean. I'm not sure if there was any contact with the body. But River East will still maintain possession. They'll be inbounding the ball. That's John Zach. Gets the ball to Dick. Looking for the shot. Takes the outside shot. And there you go. That could just be the start of it.
Well, as you said, Missy, it seems that Fort Richmond is in control of this basketball game. But right now, we're looking at just a 2-point differential.
Exactly. It almost seems like that can't be possible, because it really felt like Fort Richmond was, you know, getting the rebounds, getting the shots. Got another sub coming in for Fort Richmond. Tarek Tokar, you talked about him earlier, that if he gets hot, you got to watch out for that player as well. I think we're waiting for just anyone to get hot right now.
Are we going to have an illegal screen here?
Good call by Ozzy.
Oh, if this might go on Dick. No.
Called against Luke Dunlop, I believe, number 55. Chris Dick bringing the ball up for River East. John Zach, the baseline, ready to inbound the ball. Gets it out to Dick. We'll see if Dick can take another outside shot here. Good movement, looking to get open, gets it out to Bowie. Rury's doing a good job of showing some patience here, moving the ball around, waiting for a good shot. Open shot, again, getting it to Dick, so you can see a lot of movement. Moving from one side to the other, and again, try and get it inside, but he can also shoot from the outside, but he threw that ball away. This is an opportunity for Fort Richmond to increase their 2-point lead.
Well, the bottom line is that last moving screen was called when they hit Chris Dick here. Now, the bottom line is, like you say, they're in control for Richmond, but they're starting to play a little bit undisciplined.
That's right. They're looking a little bit scrappy now. Getting that rebound again, that's one thing that's been hurting River East all along, so they still have to box out here and try and get that rebound. And there we see Ennis Gina with an easy 2 for Fort Richmond. That
Good
might be what
Gina.
they need to pick up their spirits as well, because both teams seem to be playing very, I don't want to say casual, but almost reluctant. Now he gets the ball to Zach. Zach into Dick. Dick looking to drive, takes a shot, and it drops in. So now, last 2 shots, 2 for 2.
He's 2 for 2. It's a good job by Gina forcing him outside. But once Chris gets a step on you, it's really tough.
Well, I mean, he exploded in that 49-point scoring with about 14 in the last few minutes. So you know towards the end of the game, and that's a sign of a big-time player, right? Towards the end when the pressure's on, close game, he's coming through.
So another turnover by the Centurions.
Right, oh, inside play, good job. Oh, but doesn't drop in, but gets his own rebound, puts it up, forces it up that time. Good play, though, by John Zach.
It was good hustle by John, as you mentioned. Bottom line is now let's just go and let's get a defensive stop here. Good patience by the Centurions.
It's Rayner right across to Tokar. Luke Dunlop with the shot.
Oh, I think you got to call those, Missy.
Three-pointer.
If you're going to use the glass, I think you better call them.
We're going to bank this one. Chris Dick with the ball, 43-38. We're halfway through this second half. Final half, 10 minutes left. Chris Dick with another shot. That one just off a little bit, but we've got Jordan Weeb with the rebound again, forcing the shots up. That's because of the good pressure by the defense.
Bottom line is that's the second time down the floor that the Kodiaks have managed to get an offensive rebound, but they haven't been able to convert.
Yeah.
Bottom line is here we are. Here's Toker. Travel ball.
Travel. Looked like he stopped, took a little step forward, and then took a shot. So got called on the travel. Manny Weeb back into the game. He's going to replace, I believe, Jordan Weeb.
Yep. But here we've got Girardi and we've got Legree getting back into the game for the Centurions. While they were out, managed to rest, and they also have a 5-point cushion.
Chris Dick getting the ball. Oh, and once again, Ezra Vishkron unable to squeeze that ball. It's been the problem with River East all night, just unable to squeeze that ball. Probably pretty uncharacteristic of them.
Great penetration by Dick.
See what Fort Richmond does. Luke Dunlop taking the passer, gets it outside to Tokar. They're going to try and get the ball into Legree. There's Luke Dunlop with the shot again, but once again, we've got Fort Richmond coming down with that rebound.
That foul's going to go against Fort Richmond.
James Girardi got called on that foul. That's his 4th, so now he's in a desperate situation. So he'll take a little bit of a rest right now.
He's going to get called for that push down here.
43-38, Fort Richmond still leads. 8:59 left in the second half of this provincial championship game. Good on the first one, Ezra Vishkron.
Well, with just under 9 minutes left in the game, Missy, we're going to end up here with just a 3-point difference. And as we said before, Centurions, they've got to take advantage. They can't afford to let River East hang around, because I'll tell you, they could turn this game on a dime.
Rayner getting the ball out to Luke Dunlop. Amadze gets it into Legree. That's a player I would go to every single time.
That's a great job by Amadze. Penetrate, he pitches. Easy 2 for the Centurions.
Oh,
great job.
He's such a big guy, 6'4", but a strong 6'4". There we get a foul, I believe. Hands.
Oh, that's going to go against Atwell.
Yeah, Danny Atwell. This will also be his 4th foul.
Got now Girardi and Atwell with 4. In the bonus situation. Things not looking good for the Centurions right now.
Well, I'd be trying to get the ball, if I was Fort Richmond, into Legree as much as possible. He's done it very well for Fort Richmond tonight. River East is slowly catching up, mostly from the line. That's where most of their points have come from. So we talk about games win and loss. They're staying in this game because of the shots are taken from the line. They're only down by 3 again. This one obviously is looking like it's going to go down to the wire. It'd be kind of ironic that this game goes into overtime.
It's a great job by Rayner.
Rayner again, but off the backboard, it's just not dropping in for Fort Ridge. And a steal by Legree. I'm not even sure how he got that one. And Atwell goes up, gets fouled on the play. That'll put Atwell to the line. Once again, Fort Richmond getting 2, 3, 4 shots.
Well, I'll tell you, they're just tenacious there on the boards. We had Manny Weeb had the early rebound, and that just got taken, ripped out of his hands.
I mean, River East right now can't show their frustration. They're only down by 3. They got to be thankful that they're only down by 3 in this situation, and there's lots of time left. But you can see them talking a little bit to the officials, so they don't want to get too frustrated. They don't want to take their heads out of this game. They're certainly in this one, even though it doesn't show all the time. But on the scoreboard, it is.
Both.
Legree going to drive, goes up left hand. Chris Dick comes down with the rebound. Legree looking to steal it. Chris Dick hustling up the court, looking to set things up, maybe take a fast shot even for River East. He's driving, nice turnaround, can't play it off. Manny Weeb, good rebound. Manny Weeb's been in on a few of those rebounds for River East, a few that they've gotten.
Manny's doing a great job, and once again, you're going to have River East go to the line. Clock stops, 7.5 minutes left in the game, a differential of 3. This is not looking good right now for Fort Richmond.
It certainly isn't. There you go. This has got to be one of the most confusing games that I've ever called.
Well, we're looking at a momentum shift here.
I mean, when you sit and watch it, it really felt like Fort Richmond was in control, and yet score-wise, like they're not. 45-43, 7:38 left. Fort Richmond still leading, but only by 2.
Yeah, but they're going to get that ball. Going to get it back. What we're going to have to do if we're the Centurions, we're going to need a defensive stop here. We got to get going here. We've got to get alive.
That's right. So as much as we've talked about Fort Richmond kind of being in control, I think this game favors River East because they're the ones that have been a little bit cold. They're only down by 2. So if they get a few minutes of being hot, Fort Richmond's in big trouble, you think.
Gina doesn't think he fouled. The bottom line is, don't talk to the officials, son. Play. He's done a great job on Dick thus far. Don't think that you're going to be able to shut him down every time.
And not get called on it. Yeah, that's very true. Chris Dick back at the line. He's successful with the first one. So we are only down by 1 now, 45-44. Much needed timeout being called by Fort Richmond. I'm sure we will get an opportunity to listen in to one of the timeouts. It looks like we're going to be at the River East side.
Because listen, another minute, the Jamie's coming back in, okay? So tough defense, offense is coming back. Okay? Guys, keep working hard on defense, excellent box outs, okay? We just got to know 13, you got 13, you still got 13. Make sure you box them out. You got to hack them, right? But make sure he doesn't get a 3-point play though. Or box out first. Offense is coming along. We're finding our stroke. We're back to running 12. When Jamie comes, well, we'll worry about that. When Jamie comes in, you go back in the post and bring Jamie back out. But it's another minute. We'll go 6.5 with that. Okay? Okay? Let's go, boys. Come on. Let's go. Let's go here. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Go, yes! 1, 2, 3.
There we could hear Coach Erwin Hildebrandt and the River East Kodiaks trying to figure out what they're going to do, feeling like their game is getting a little bit hotter, which it certainly has been. They're certainly in this game. They only trail by 1 point, 45-44, 7:25 left, and you can hear Coach Hildebrandt talking about Jamie Moses coming back on the floor shortly.
Well, Chris Dick, if he's going to put this one away, we're going to look 7.5-minute game is what we're going to have right now, Missy. We're all tied up.
Game.
Here we go. 7.5-minute game, and right now the momentum swing has got to be in River East's favor.
No question.
Got too many of the Fort Richmond players. We got a couple players with 4. We've got Gina with 3.
This puts a lot of pressure on Fort Richmond because they were sort of comfortable with that lead. And now the pressure's on. Pressure's definitely on.
That's a travel by Rayner.
Chris Dick's put himself back up to being the top scorer for his team. He's at 14 points now, and he's done most of that from the line. Bowie with the ball. River East looking to take the lead for the first time. I believe it'd be the first time in the game. The first time in a very long time, that's for sure. So they're showing some patience here. Chris Dick looking to get separated from the rest of the team, and unfortunately it doesn't drop in. Players all over the place, and now we've got Rayner going up. Drops it in for 2.
That is a great play by Danny Atwell. He's the one that threw himself with the loose ball, pushed that forward to Rayner, and Rayner converted at the offensive end.
That's right, he's really hustled on the court. Look at no one going for that rebound. Rayner, now we get a foul, I believe from behind, probably called on either Bowie or Weeb. I'm not really sure. I think it's called against him. No, they're calling it against Jordan Weeb. So that's Jordan's 3rd or 4th foul now.
That's going to be his 3rd.
3rd foul.
Coach Hildebrandt doesn't want the Kodiaks to get caught up in that scrappy play, which seems to favor the Centurions.
Girardi back on the floor. Sets it out to Gina. Amadze short on that. Girardi gets the rebound once again. Fort Richmond coming down with that rebound. Gina a little bit short on that last shot. Chris Dick. You see Jamie Moses also back on the floor for River East. Remember, he's sitting at 4 fouls. Oh, and that was Jordan Weeb with an outside shot. River East takes the lead 48-47. 5:39 left in the game. Legree goes up with the shot. It drops in, but they call him on a charge.
Oh, this is a big momentum swing here for the Kodiaks.
Huge. That's a huge call. Legree driving in, puts it in. Basket does not count, gets called on the charge. River East continues with the offense here, and they're now in a 1-point lead here. Chris Dick gets the ball into Jordan Weeb. Outside shot, a little bit short. Legree comes up with the rebound.
Slowly, Missy, Fort Richmond starting to get themselves in foul trouble.
They certainly are. I think that scrappy play, that undisciplined play is catching up to them now. And we said it kind of favors on. Moses comes up with the steal. See what he can do. Goes off his foot and out of bounds.
Oh, they're going to...
giving it to River East. I thought that went off his foot.
Coach Okamabua is upset about this.
Exactly. He's saying it went off the foot as well. Well, I guess tomorrow they'll be able to see when they watch this on TV, because we don't have the best angle. Now we get a steal by Amadze, and another steal. This has just become turnover. Speaking of turnovers, I'm kind of hungry right now.
Good job here by River East.
Another steal by Girardi, and to control that, puts it up for the 2. They take the lead again, 49-48, 4:35 left in this game. This is anyone's.
Well, if nothing else, Missy, this one's getting exciting. We've been waiting for this to happen. We've actually been waiting for something to happen. Oh, we're going to get called on an illegal screen.
And a timeout is going to be called by River East.
Oh, it's going to go against Manny Weeb. Earlier in the half, we had one go against Fort Richmond when we had a bit of a moving screen thrown against Dick.
I believe we're going to go now to the Fort Richmond timeout.
Heck of a play, James. Hey, listen up. Listen up. Hey, we're shooting. Okay, we're gonna shoot. Hey, off the shot, we're gonna go trap. Right? If they don't get it in quickly, let's go trap. If not, if you don't feel it, just go back and play tough man-to-man. Everybody know who you're covering. You are covering the curly hair guy. He does not get open for any threes. He can't score on you in his entire life. That's all right. Let's get back. Okay? Hey,
been
You
here
guys,
before.
we've been here before. Not time to be sloppy, Allie. Make sure of your pass. Come. Make him commit, then make your pass. All right, we're calm, we're cool, we're collective. We're ready to win. All right, we're one unit, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Hey, FRC on 3 first. All right?
1, 2, 3.
FRC!
Here we can hear from Coach Ogo Akwamabua, keeping his team motivated, telling them what they need to do. He also has, I believe, a brother that plays on Calvin Clippers, so that would have been ironic if they would have played against each other here.
Yeah, it would have been really hard on Mr. and Mrs. Okamabua.
No kidding, who do you go for? And you
Where
might
do they
also
sit?
remember his sister, Yadali Akwamabua, also played for Glenlawn. There we get Chris Dick comes up with the ball. Just over 4 minutes and almost a steal there. They're going to call a foul here, and I believe this one will go against Ennis Gina.
Oh, that's going to be Gina's fourth.
It is against Ennis Gina.
Boy.
It is his fourth foul. They've got 3 players sitting at 4 fouls right now. Still 4 minutes, still lots of time.
As I said to you, Missy, Fort Richmond is slowly getting themselves in very, very irreparable harm with this foul situation. Dick goes to the line to tie this game up.
I think everyone's actually sitting on the edge of their seat here because no one knows what's going to happen here. But you can count on Chris Dick when he's at the line. I'm sure I don't think he's missed.
No, he's been perfect from the line tonight.
There we go. Back with the lead. 50-49, River East leads. Just over 4 minutes left in this provincial championship game. Ennis Gina looking to take a shot. Looking to do something for his team. He gets it out top to Girardi. Girardi looking to drive, looking to dish off here. Amadze. They leave him open. You got to take that shot. We've got Legree up top now. He's being quite successful down below. There we get it into Girardi, and it goes off his hands and out of bounds. That's definitely River East ball.
That's a good job by Ian Bowie. Got his hands in there. What we had is some good hard-nosed defense by the Kodiaks when they needed it.
There's a nice turnaround shot by Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed's coming up hot at the right time here. He's sitting at 14 points now.
Good job here by River East. Good movement here.
Monty looking to set things up for Fort Richmond. We have just over 3 minutes left. He drives in and out. And Chris Dick comes up with a very important rebound for River East.
What's happened here for Fort Richmond? They've gone away from their half-court offense. They're doing a little bit of one-on-one. Bottom line is, you want to move the ball. You want to get Legree down in the paint.
They're leaving Bowie wide open. He dishes it off too. Weave gets it to Jamie Moses. Backs off that shot. He was falling. Now we've got Girardi going towards the basket. Goes around Dick. Forces it up. Good defense by Dick, but Atwell keeps it alive. Fort Richmond has another chance.
Let's get Legree down in the paint.
And that shot just not dropping in for Fort Richmond now. Now Legree should be down below, don't you think? That's what's really worked for them. Now we're getting a foul called against Ennis Gina, and that will be his 5th and disqualifying foul.
How am I supposed to not get mad?
Oh, that's going to get Coach Okamabua up. Was Gina in the wrong place at the wrong time? Yes, he was. But at the same time, what gets Coach Okamabua angry was the forearm thrown by Chris Dick.
So we'll have a timeout, with that being his disqualifying foul. Fort Richmond not too happy, but now they're the team that's showing a bit of frustration.
We're okay.
What's happened here, Missy? Fort Richmond has totally gotten away from their half-court offense. What they've had to do is they've had to just simply come down here and take some time. Let's get our big man down on the paint. Let's move the ball, and let's let him work inside. Instead, the last 3 times that they were down, it was Gina.
That's right. We're going to listen into the River East timeout.
Let's go. Everybody, press break. They're going to come at us hard man-to-man here.
Let's go, guys.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Kodiaks!
Very difficult to hear what was being said there, but you can listen to the enthusiasm in their voices suddenly. And if you look at the faces of Fort Richmond, they're the team that's showing some frustration right now. You talked about prior to the timeout, I think I'd be getting Legree down low. He's the one that was scoring time and time again for them. We commented about, get it to the big guy. And now they've got him up top. I'm not sure if that works in Fort Richmond's favor. It was working for them down low. Why change that?
Well, we're going to have to see a lot of pressure here from Fort Richmond. Every time that they score, they're going to have to put pressure on, but once again, they're in foul trouble.
Well, Chris Dick has done it completely from the line here tonight. He's sitting at 18 points right now, and I believe 8 of them are from, or sorry, 10 of them are from the line. 10 or 12 of them from the line.
Rayner puts up a quick shot there, and all it does is give the ball back to River East.
Yeah,
River East right now, let's move the ball. Oh, that's going to go against Dick.
That's right, he was moving on that screen there. He got called on the block. Both teams showing a little bit of frustration here. That puts them to the line in a bonus situation.
What River East has got to do here, if they want to take some air out of the ball, what they've got to do is they've got to move the ball.
That's
you
right.
can't keep the ball in the hands of one ball player and have him dribble the ball. You've got to move the ball at this level.
That's right, you want to throw that stall in there. 54-49, 1:53 left. Ali Amadzi puts that first one in. This could cut it down to a 1 possession even.
If you're River East, you get ready for some Fort Richmond pressure here.
That's right, pressure being put on. They're only down by 3, 1:52 left. This is still anyone's game. Chris Dick bringing the ball up for River East. Pressure still being put on by Fort Richmond. They get it to Jordan Weave. Wide open, and he waits. Manny Weave.
That was a great look by Jordan Weave.
Atwell up top. Modsey looking to drive. Makes some moves. Oh, just throwing up anything there. Legree tips it in. We talked about Legree down low.
Oh, there's going to be a foul on Rayner. With 1:19 left in the game, there is no need for Fort Richmond to foul. Play tough man-to-man defense.
That's right, they're only down by 3 right now.
What you're doing is you're stopping the clock, but you're letting
and look who you're putting at the
Chris
line.
Dick go to the line, who's 100% right now at the line. If you think if you're gonna pin your hopes on him missing, I don't like your chances.
No. I'd be fouling any other guy than Chris Dick. There's no way I'd want him at the line. That's a gimme. Now it becomes a 2 possession. We've got a timeout being called by Fort Richmond. And we're going to go listen to Ogo Akwamabua.
Right, keep going towards the basket. Keep going to the basket. No time to take those threes, right? Hey, fist, okay? Fist on the next one down.
On the left side.
Hey, on the left-hand side.
We've been
Let's
down
roll,
before, guys.
go, okay? Defense on 3. 3, 2, 1. Defense!
What you're going to see from Fort Richmond is pressure all over the floor. What they need to do is they need to get the ball after this foul shot. They need to get the ball up the floor as quickly as they can, look inside, and score.
And I'd still be trying to get that ball inside to Legree, the big guy.
Well, as you can see, Coach Okwamabua said right now, we don't have time to move that ball around the perimeter looking for that 3-point shot. We need to score, and to score quickly.
Exactly. There you go, Chris Dick again, successful from the line. River East with their biggest lead, 58-53. They're up by 5. We have 1:13 left in the second half of this provincial championship game. There we get Amadze with the fast shot, but they come down with the rebound. Legree has the ball. He's looking to put up a quick shot as well. He dishes it off, and a turnover. Fort Richmond unable to control that pass. Less than a minute left. Rayner makes a foul. I believe that's his disqualifying foul. So Fort Richmond definitely in foul trouble here with a number of players. Already got 2 disqualified from the game. So we've got a timeout now with that disqualifying foul. 58, 53, 58 seconds left. We're going to listen in to Erwin Hildebrandt in the River East Kodiaks.
We have 2 timeouts left. So if you're on the ground with the ball, just yell timeout. It doesn't have to be the guy with the ball. It can be anybody on the floor. If you see your, okay? No, don't, right. No box, right? Let's go. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Kodiaks!
Well, right now, Missy, things are definitely in favor of the River East Kodiaks. We've got Jordan Weeb at the line for the Kodiaks. The Kodiaks enjoying a 5-point lead, less than a minute left on the clock. It's going to be interesting to see someone different at the line for the Kodiaks. But if we're the Centurions right now, we're in a heap of trouble.
Well, River East has to feel good about this situation now. It's one of the funniest games I think that I've done, because it really felt like Fort Richmond was in control, but you always had this feeling that River East is still in it, and that worked in their favor, and it's certainly coming true now. An outside shot looked like it was tipped a little bit, and another shot, River East comes down. Nope, travel ball before he called the timeout. 42 seconds. Really, in basketball, still lots of time, isn't it?
Lots of time. Inbounding here, an end out here by the Centurions. You go right inside to Legree. Right now, come and get the ball.
I wouldn't be leaving him open for a 3-point shot either. Atwell taking a shot, drops in, put a bit of pressure on. They got to put pressure, almost a steal there. Amadze, I believe, being called on the foul. One of the few players that's not in foul trouble. That's only his 3rd.
Well, I think what we have to do if Christic manages to make these 2 foul shots, we're looking at a situation where it's might be an insurmountable lead in terms of the Centurions trying to take care of this. Got to look back to the first half. First half, an excellent timeout by Coach Hildebrandt when he said to his guys, we're cold, let's work on the defensive end, we can get back into this. And that's exactly what they've done. And what we've got to do is we've got to take our hands off to Coach Hildebrandt for making that observation.
Go, lots of time. Lots of time. Hey, Daly, you're about to make the biggest shot of your career right now. All right? On the way down, Daly's going to start right here. James and Danny, right here. But we got to do this fast, all right? We can't end this any time. James, Danny down screen. Daly right up for the 3. Everybody else, let's rebound. Get it quickly, let's go. We got it, okay? Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Defense!
That's a good job by Coach Okamabua, working right to the end. The bottom line is he knows they've got to score quick. They've got to score very quickly.
That's right, and keeping it very positive. There's still time. There's still time. You don't want to give up now.
Well, as you mentioned, Missy, when there's still time on the clock, I mean, anything can happen in a basketball game.
Straight calling timeouts. Someone gets fouled, they get an opportunity to go to the line. Time's not even running. There's 31 seconds left. 60 to 55, 5-point lead, and Chris Dick once again converts at the line. He's done it pretty much all at the line. He's sitting at 22 points. I'm not sure what they called it. The clock didn't start right away, or?
Well, the clock didn't start because Amadze let the ball roll. So the clock should not start until he's made contact with the ball. I believe that this clock, that they did start the clock. They didn't. It's a good job by referee Philippin here.
Right on top of that, and they set it back. Perfect. Hustling down the court, Ali Amadze looking to take off a shot here. Legree going up, just a little short, but Atwell coming down with a huge rebound for his team. Gets it out, but a steal by Manny Weeb. Manny Weeb has come through. We've said his name not often, but when we do, it's at crucial times.
Well, Manny's done a great job. He's been on the floor. He's worked really hard at both the offensive and defensive end, and he's come down with some great rebounds for the Kodiaks.
Yeah. Also, the one thing to note is Jamie Moses came back on with 7 minutes left, and he's still on the floor. So playing very disciplined as well.
Well, that's Girardi's 5th and disqualifying foul. That's the third
player off the floor
that the Centurions have knocked out of this game.
Take this time to listen in to the River East timeout.
Don't run time off the clock, okay? No threes, no threes, no threes. We box out today. It's that simple. It's that simple. Okay? Come on, go! 3, 2, 1.
Good job by Coach Hildebrandt, as you could hear him say, trying to keep things nice and simple. He's been in a number of situations where that clock can do some funny things. So what he wants his players to do is just simply keep the ball moving. As far as their defense is concerned, bring their defense out, bring it out to the perimeter, to make it hard for Fort Richmond to convert any three-point attempts.
Manny Weed misses that first one at the line. 61-55, his team leads with only 16 seconds left. This is that second one, big rebound there by Mike Polishin. Modsey going to take, oh, that ball almost tipped away. Labrie going up for a fast shot. Jordan Weeb coming down with that rebound, but he's fouled. That should put Jordan Weeb to the line. 5.78 seconds left. River East 61-55. We're sitting at a 6-point lead right now.
Well, with Legree coming up short with that particular shot, this should be it in terms of
yeah, I don't think there'd be enough time for Fort Richmond to put up that many points now, unless somehow the clock can be stopped and they put up the quickest 2 3-pointers.
What we've got to do here, so many coaches have always questioned this when they do not put defensive, players from their team in the lane. I always like to put at least 2 players in the lane to make sure that anything can happen.
That almost sealed it right there anyhow. Good job by Jordan Weeb. We're going to look to take a quick shot here. Oh, and almost dropped in. River East comes up with this victory, 63-55 over Fort Richmond.
Well, once again, Missy, I have to go back. I have to go back to early in the first half. Coach Hildebrandt down 22-8. He takes a timeout and he tells his team to stay calm, to stay focused. We're cold. Things aren't dropping for us right now. So let's do a job defensively and slowly get back into this game. They did. They were only down 7 at the half. In terms of the Fort Richmond Centurions, I know they got a feel that they think they let this one get away from them. They were in control all the way through, but at the same time, they didn't manage to get that separation.
So you got to give River East credit in staying in this one because it wasn't looking good there initially. And Fort Richmond was pretty much in control there. But things just really working in the end in River East's favor, where they kept their heads in the game. They played together as a team. They started coming up with the rebounds, which was non-existent in the first half. And all those things combined with a couple of the shots going in finally for them. And Chris Dick at the line, I mean, he was really unstoppable there.
And on the other side of the coin, good job by Coach Okamabua. He was very, very focused in terms of keeping his team as positive as he could, and they came out and they worked really, really hard. But as you said, Missy, as we sat up here, it never seemed that they were completely in control. They seemed to have control of the ship, but at the same time, they weren't just quite able to make that separation from the Kodiaks. They hung around and they came back.
That's right. Right now, we'll probably go down to public address announcer Bill Anthony for the medal presentations.
This event, as well as McDonald's Restaurants of Manitoba, Harvell Sportswear, Wilson Sports, and Sport Manitoba. But also, welcome to Center Court, the awards presenters, Teresa Cicerelli from the Manitoba Milk Producers, Dr. Lauren Cartwright from the Manitoba High School Athletic Association Board of Directors, and Gabriel Elvis for the Player Choice Award Committee. We'd now like to ask the captains of the Fort Richmond Centurions to come forward and accept their MHSAA finalist banner. And now I'd like to call on each of the players of Fort Richmond to come forward and accept their second place medallions. Number 4, Ali Amunze. Number 13, Daly Legree. Number 15, Enes Gina. Number 7, Tarek Tokar. Number 33, Danny Atwell. Number 32, James Girardi. Number 55, Luke Dunlop. Number 22, Andy Garba. Number 11, Nugala Londi. Number 10, Charles Ho. Number 21, Mike Polishin. And number 16, Grant Rayner. Their manager, Dion Mohammed. The assistant coach, Tim Botway. And the coaches, Reagan Moses and Ogo Kwababua. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fort Richmond Centurions. Now I'd like to call on the captains of the River East Kodiaks to come forward and accept their championship banner and trophy. And I would like to call on each player to come forward and receive their championship t-shirts and championship medallions. 00, Manny Weed. Number 2, Mickey Gadget. Number 3, Cam Shepard. Number 7, C.J. Edwards. Number 8, Chris Dick. Number 11, James Jansen. Number 13, Derek Martins. Number 15, John Zack. Number 21, Ian Bowie. Number 24, Jamie Moses. Number 25, Mark Dolinik. Number 31, Ezra Mishkran. And number 33, Jordan Weeb. Their managers, Phil Weeb and Scott Maynard. And their coaches, John Thompson, Don Iwasco, and Erwin Hildebrand. Manitoba High School Athletic Association would also like to acknowledge this year's 4A High School All-Star team. But before the All-Star selections, we'd like to take this opportunity to recognize this year's Manitoba Milk Producers Players' Choice Award, which is selected by the athletes participating in this year's Final Four. This year's Manitoba Milk Producers Players' Choice Award goes to River East Jamie Moses. And now, the All-Star Awards. Each All-Star will receive an MHSAA All-Star Certificate, a t-shirt courtesy of Harvell Sports. This year's All-Stars are, from Kelvin, Jonathan Menjivar. Jonathan Menjivar. From Silver Heights, Jared Boville. Jared Boville from Silver Heights. From Fort Richmond, Ali Amunze. From River East, Jordan Weed. From Fort Richmond, Daly Legree. This year's most valuable player will receive the Manitoba High School Athletic Association MVP certificate and sweatshirt courtesy of Harvell Sports. The 2002 4A Provincial High
There is not safe at night. My place is a half mile that way.